Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It's Monday. There are only 2 Mondays left, and then it will be March. I know, can you believe it? Almost March. Alright, so we've got, my usuals. Well, first, how is everyone? Good. Good. I hope if you had nice spring weather that you got to enjoy it this weekend. We did. Well, sort of. We enjoyed it the few little bits we were actually out. Um, we went and saw Deadpool, which was hilarious. Really, it's a very hard R rating. So if you're not a fan of, and I'm not really either, but it's not gratuitous, but there's a lot of violence. Not a lot. I don't know. It's a superhero movie, so it's standard superhero violence, but it's a little bit more hardcore. Language is pretty strong. So is the sex. It was really funny and really much better than I expected. So yeah, yay, Deadpool. But yes. So yeah. Sorry, I'm tired. It's been a Monday. So I hope everyone had a great weekend. We've got the usual questions. Didn't get as many as I like getting, so if you've got questions, please ask them. I likes the questions. So ask me questions, as always. But I do have questions to answer. I have a little bit of haul, not a lot, but a little bit. I've got whip updates. I've got my plans for the week, a little bit of an announcement, and then obviously Oz. So let's get right on in. First was Scully Girl asked me where did I get the magazines, which would have been the ones shown in my last video. I got them at Half Price Books. Basically where I get all my old magazines. Button Addict asked me, do you like the rectangle hoop and frame? Yes and no. You need a flat surface when you're putting it in. It's not like the Q-Snap where you can tighten it. You've got to have it on something flat that you can push down. That said, it does a pretty good job of keeping things tight. It is good when like I said, with Screamhouse, especially because I have to get so close to the frame. It's really good for that. Is it something I would use a lot? Probably not. But for what I'm using it for, I would recommend it. So it would be a good in addition to tool, but it would not be, I guess, one of like, if there was a point where there was 5 tools you can't live without, it's not one of my 5 tools. Alright. Lynn Kerr asked if I was collecting the cross-stitch needlework magazines. No, I mostly get the magazines that have things in them that I like. Largely because I don't need all of that many magazines. I just really don't. But I do think of the magazines I've seen, it's the one I tend to buy copies of the most. Probably Cross Stitch and Country Crafts would probably be the second most. My favorite magazine is, I guess that. I really like Cross Stitch Crazy, I think is the one. One of the British ones usually has a lot of cute things. But mostly, I don't tend to do the magazines unless I get them for like $1, because quite honestly, there's a lot of times not enough in them for me to want to do all of them. Heather Goldsworth asked, are any of my hand-dyed fabrics color fast? No. Most hand-dyed fabrics are not. I think Weeks is more color fast. And I think maybe Picture This Plus, but Stephanie, Lourdes, Leslie, no, they're not color fast. I'm really careful. I try not to eat. I'm really, really cautious when I'm working with my stuff because I can't wash it. Between the hand-dyed threads that I use and the hand-dyed fabric, it would just be a mess. let's see. I think that's all the questions. So there we go. There are the questions. On the hand-dyed, the washing things note, what you can always do is do a test blot. You get a little bit of water in a corner and then blot with a white paper towel the fabric or the floss. If color doesn't come off, you're probably okay. If color comes off, don't do it. With Journal Arts, they say color fast. Check your reds and your purples. Those are the worst ones to run. If it's a limited edition, rinse it. Those will run without fail. And then you'll be a sad panda. And nobody wants to be a sad panda. Really, probably no one wants to be a panda, but that's its own story. So, moving right along. Haul this week. I got a couple of things from the always wonderful Liz. Back with my Christmas bonus, I told her that I was wanting to get some more things for a collection. And so she and I discussed, what was I lacking, what sorts of things could I throw in. So she put together a bundle of, I think it's 10 Karen water lilies. And I had no idea what they were until they arrived. And I told her I prefer solids, but I don't mind some variegation because I'm trying to branch out into those more. So I've got Pine Forest, which is blues and greens. This one is espresso, and it's got brown and green and red. It's very pretty. This one is Umbria. It's purples and greens. It looks a little bit like a grapevine. This one, which is called Tahiti, but I'm calling it Rainbow because it looks like a rainbow. And then this one is Hyacinth. It's mostly shades of purple with a little bit of brown. Celadon, which is blue, which is lighter greens and yellow greens. African Violets, which is deep violets and blues. Cardinal, which is reds and pinky reds and magenta-ish. Fir, which is gray greens and gray blues. And Kelp, which is sort of a brown combination with some greens in it. So I got those, and then this came on Saturday. Okay. Cute little card. And it says, Happy Stitchy Boxiversary. Thank you so much for the support over the last year. I hope this small gift helps your minders keep your minders safe and secure during your stitchy adventures. And inside this cute little box was a needle minder. A wooden needle minder that says Stitching Royalty. Because despite what Katie may think, we all know I'm the biggest queen in cross-stitch. It's a little needle minder that says Stitching Royalty. And I think it's adorable and wonderful, and I love it. And I loved my threads. Liz is awesome. And again, I just kind of throw money at her and she sends me shit. Whoops, I don't know if I can say that. Crap. I throw money at her and she sends me stuff. I apologize if I just offended somebody. Anyhow, moving right along. So, now we've got our whips. Let's see. I finished my Scream House stitch along for the month. So I did my 2 roof pieces. They're upside down from each other. So, there's this one, which has a little frog. And this pumpkin, which has a spider. So next month will be a wall panel. So we're doing wall panels again, and we'll see how well the whole let's stitch one of these things in a month at lunchtime at work goes. We'll see. And then I worked some more on the back stitch for the brown piece, and I got all of the outer walls done, and I got the floor and 2 of the 4 roofs pieces backstitched. So that's what I'm going to finish up probably this week at lunch, and then I'll move on to this side. So we're getting towards the end. We're winding down. 5 months left. Over halfway. It's kind of exciting. I will say it's been a fun stitch, but I will never stitch one of these again. Nope. Alright, so then the big thing I worked on was in the Fairy Tales book from Soda Stitch. And my plan... Actually, I got a lot farther than I planned. Far enough that I actually didn't have the floss to do as much... to do more, or a lot more, so I had to actually do what I could and then last night finish what was left. But I finished up 6 of the 7 dwarves. Or, well, 5. I already had 1 done. And I did the house. I stitched the roof is actually a wool. It's seashells from Dragonfly Lotus. That's a sheep head because I had some black and there wasn't really a lot left to do, so I just did it up there. This one I'm calling Hipster Dwarf because he's wearing capri pants. Oh, I forgot to do his shoes. He's wearing capri pants and a sleeveless t-shirt, and he's got a beanie and mustache. So this is Hipster Dwarf. And that's Old Dude Dwarf, and that's Hobo Dwarf, because he has a pouch. And this is I'm Standing Stock Still, because I don't know what else to do with my life, Dwarf. And this is I'm a dwarf that I thought was leaning over a bench, but is actually squatting to pick up apples awkwardly, because apparently apples are super heavy, because I'm a weakling dwarf. And then this is Twerking Dwarf. And then there's one other dwarf. So, I did that. And obviously I finished the Yellow Brick Road piece. So here we go. That's where I'm at so far. So next time I work on this, I'm probably going to go ahead and do the field up above the cottage, and then I'll start my way down the Yellow Brick Road to the Wizard of Oz gang. So I'm 3 of essentially 7 pages. So I'm almost halfway. So this one, I'm a little sad to put this one away right now. But that leads into the next plan of discussion. I am going to be a filthy, dirty, rotten, nasty, terrible, cheater pumpkin eater. I'm actually going to start and do one of my Sal's early this week. And then after I finish it, I'll probably go back and do more on Fairy Tales. The reason being, or I may just go ahead on to my next Sal. The reason being, I will be moving in with Boyfriend, with G2. I'll be moving in with him. Official first move-in date will be, or official, although I'll probably be over there more before that, is going to be March 12th. Which means the week because that's a Saturday, so that week is probably going to be a lot of bringing boxes over after work every night. I'm probably not going to, realistically, other than what I stitch at lunch, I'm not going to get a lot of stitching done. So, since I'm going to be losing a week for that, I'm going to go ahead and do Magical Creatures, and then if I finish Magical Creatures before the week is over, I'll move on and start on Scarecrow. That way the only real monthly thing that I'll have left to do will be postcards. Because realistically, I just don't know how much I'm going to get done, and I don't want that anxiety. So, yeah, so that's the big announcement. So I'm going to start in on the March Magical Creatures, and I need to finish picking colors. I know I'm going to be using just the regular DMC Black for part of it, because why wouldn't I? Where is that damn stitch anyways? I am apparently a potty mouth tonight. I am really sorry. Chalk it up to the fact that I'm tired because I was up way later than I needed to be last night. Where did I put that thing? I even just saw it. Here? No, that's not it. I also actually worked a little bit on my balloons, my Dimensions kit, and I don't like it. I got to the part where I was having to force like 5 strands of floss through the hole, and it was frustrating me because it was too small of a hole. So, yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, that may be one that I give to somebody who wants it. I don't know. We'll see. Because I really like the chart. I would like the finished product. But I'm not enjoying stitching that. No thank you. What did I do with... Come on, Garrett, you're not this crazy. Maybe I am this crazy. Okay, I don't know what I've done with it. It's somewhere in this general vicinity. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Okay, I don't know. I give up. I'm working on magical creatures. Unless I can't find it, then I guess I'm going to work on Scarecrow. I'm still agonizing over whether or not I want to be true to the book and do him all in shades of blue, or do I want to do him as charted so he's a little bit more like the movie, because I really like those purple cowboy boots. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know. Alright, so... that being said, we will do my Oz piece for the week. Again, it's Tin Man month because of Valentine's Day. So I have this little figurine. It's Dorothy, Toto, and the Tin Man. It's made by Seymour Mann. It was done back in 1983. Seymour Mann, I'm not really entirely sure what all his design studio puts out, because I mostly seem to find Wizard of Oz things. And a lot of what he does is really ugly. At least of his modern stuff. But in the 70s and 80s, and I've got the 70s set of 4 figurines, he did a whole series of figurines, and I've got the Dorothy music box that was separate. These are apparently also available in music boxes. There were a whole slew of different things. But these are apparently very difficult to come by, and there's one of Dorothy and Scarecrow. Supposedly there's one of Dorothy and Lion, although I've never seen a photograph of one. And in fact, amongst my Oz friends that I have, I only know of one person who has this piece that isn't me. So that's kind of how difficult to come by they are. I paid like $15 for it in an antique store. But I really like this, partially because it does have Dorothy looking very movie-esque, even though she's not wearing socks, which would totally not be okay. Regardless of if she's not in 1900, in 1930s Depression-era Kansas, there's no way in hell Aunt Em would have let Dorothy run around without socks on. I'm sorry, it just would not happen, but whatever. But I like that the Tin Man has, like, lapels. I just think that's so cool. It's like he did a nice hybrid of the John R. Neal illustration and the MGM movie. So, I don't know. I've always just really liked this piece. I'd like the others in the set if I ever come across them, but I'm not breaking my neck to find them, because there are plenty of other things out there for me to break my neck over. Or trip over. So, but I just really like this piece. Next week, I'll have my remaining Tin Man piece. I have to figure out what it's going to be, but it's my remaining Tin Man piece. And then Emerald City will be March. I cannot promise that there will be a video on the 14th. I'm going to try, but I don't promise anything. There may, if you go without me, do not fear. I am not dead, because I will be posting on Instagram still and Facebook. But I will be a little busy. So, anyhow, that's kind of it. I hope everyone had a fantastic week, and I hope everyone has a great week coming up. If you've got questions, drop me a line, and I will talk to you later.